Hey, hi all. Super excited to be here. Today I'm going to be talking about a very controversial topic, a topic which is very close to a lot of PM's heart. And the topic is called Why Saying No to Your Next Promotion Might Be the Best Career Decision You Ever Took. I can already see people face palming, being surprised. Isn't promotion what every product manager wants? Isn't promotion what every PM wants to be proud of? And trust me, it sounds ridiculous. Even when I was preparing for this talk, there were so many times when I really asked myself, like, should I really be doing this? And at the end of it, the answer was yes, because there is just so much missing in this corporate ladder world today, which needs to be kind of cleared. I'm going to start with the PM life cycle. I mean, all of us are PMs here, or want to be PMs, or have been PMs, and this is a general PM life cycle. You start as a junior product manager, which essentially means that you're doing a lot of tactical work. I like to call them as proxy product managers, not a lot of actual strategic work, paperwork, Jira, Trello, a lot of execution. You move into a PM, you start doing some strategic work, you start asking some questions. You usually have a sprint squad, or you do more discovery. And as you move on, an SPM, I think, is someone who has a more strategic focus, who has multiple squads, who would be doing a lot of discovery and research and asking why. And while you're at GPM and director level, then you start actually managing teams and tracks and departments. And also keep in mind, then you're doing also a lot of work for me, which is not really product management, stuff like managing people, admin work, ensuring that your Jira license doesn't expire, ensuring that a product vision or the fancy tool that you're using, is renewed. And directors don't even talk about them. I mean, I know my director who is often explaining stuff to C-levels, telling them how simple stuff works. So this is what a PM life cycle looks like. And here is what I've learned in my career. Even if you remove the time aspect, because there is a chain of thought that says that time doesn't define who I am. I could be working for 2 years and I might be an SPM. And I agree to that, but the scope is still there. I mean, you can't be an SPM and say that, hey, yeah, I'm still doing a lot of execution work and I'm working with just one team. Usually, if you are an SPM or a GPM or a director, then you would be having similar scopes. And uh, look at these big boxes, sorry, big circles which I've drawn. For me, these circles represent, again, how I categorize these PMs. When you're a junior PM or a product manager, you're going to shape up to be a great PM, hopefully. This is a great opportunity for you to know what's your strength, what's your weakness, think strategically. And a lot of these PMs actually do a lot of yes and don't ask why, and that's a weakness. When you become an SPM and a GPM, you're kind of like the seasoned PM where now you are trying to just ensure how to maximize the impact. How can you ensure that whatever is being delivered has the most impact? You protect your team. You ask a lot more of why and you say no, and you also kind of drive your product culture. And if you're a director, well, I expect you to take the big bets. I expect you to drive the product culture right from the top, take those decisions which really set up your entire org for success. A question might be why I am doing all of this. The reason is because I do believe that there's a natural life cycle. I am a PM who loves chaos. PMs need to work in chaos, but there are some things which I do believe are very natural. So, these things are natural, they're being followed. You become a GPM, PM, SPM. However, all of us know that there are some organizations and there are some people who jump a curve. I've seen often people who are not an SPM are still a PM, but they are going to be working as an SPM or someone who just is managing multiple squads and he's already being handed over three product managers to manage. And usually, a lot of times this happens, or a lot of time people are inclined to do so because of stuff like this, which I see. A random PM who started his career with you, work, I don't know, 2 years, and one fine day you're on your phone and you're like, wow, this guy's became a head of product. He's a group product manager. And you want to say like, congrats, but what you want to actually say is that, I mean, didn't you just join this company? I mean, didn't you just get promoted last year? I've been here 3 years and I've got a single promotion. I just suck at being a PM. And it's very normal to feel this way. The social media does it to us. You go into LinkedIn and whatever, and you see people fancy titles, CPO, PPM, GPM, young folks, not a lot of experience. Not judging anyone. I'm not saying that age is a factor. There might be great PMs who have this natural instinct for being a PM, but often, there are also cases where this is not true. And I will now give you an example of a story, which is my personal story, which is a true story. It's me, and that happened to me when I was managing a small team. It's very close to my heart, and this is where this talk came across because I looked at all the things which I've done as a PM, and this part was one of the most difficult for me as a hiring manager to kind of explain to myself why I did that, and so I gave you context. I was working with a PM. Again, he probably saw something on LinkedIn. He was a great product manager. I think he was really set for that PM role, and then he even wrote. He was like, "Hey, I've got a job. I'm looking for product manager opportunity." Really, he came up to me. I still remember in a one-on-one, and he was like, "Hey, you promote me or I'm gone. I'm out of here." And at that moment, obviously, there were a lot of thoughts in my mind, but this also talks a lot about the culture of a company. At that moment, my thought was, well, hiring a new one could take 90 days. I just have a couple of more PMs left in my team. How many more? I need to get this delivered in a month or two. I can't do it with PM out. And really, what happened next was I set up something with my director, and we were like, "Hey, listen, this is what is happening. This guy is out there. This time he's serious. He's gonna be out of here." And even my director at that moment, and I really understand what was going in his mind because there is so much pressure in this PM world. We have things to deliver, and he was like, "Fine, let's do what he needs." Obviously, I'm not gonna go into money and whatever, but essentially, we're like, "Yeah, we have to do this because we just need the person." And not saying he was a bad PM, he was a good PM. So all of us felt that, yeah, probably he's ready to be an SPM in a couple of years. But hey, if indeed this might be his calling. And at that moment, there were these thoughts in my mind. I was like, this guy is not ready. I have other PMs. I'm going to explain this to them, but maybe he will do well in his new role. And eventually, obviously, this guy got promoted. Mm. Looking forward, what happened was a disaster. I haven't included this on my slides, but the guy got promoted. He never really was an SPM. We gave him an extra scope. He struggled. His performance went down. He wasn't doing well. As a matter of fact, he was better in a PM than an SPM. And eventually, what happened was that the guy moved to a different company because he realized that he was just not fit to take the pressure which comes with a new role. And this kind of wants me to deep dive into what went wrong there. What is wrong with the industry where it seems like everyone wants to be promoted and everyone is just looking, to climb the ladder quicker, and everyone is feeling that if you're not getting promoted an X number of times, you're just a loser. So brace yourself. I'm gonna walk through what went wrong, what we could have done better. So first of all, there is just too much urgency. People think that, hey, if someone else is promoted, wow, this guy has a bigger scope. This guy has an amazing career path. He probably earns a lot more. He meets the coolest people. He works with VP, and I'm still sitting here working with, I don't know, just a Scrum Master. No, no judgment, but hey, that's how the PMs are. We love to work with high profile people. In reality, that is not true. So many times I've seen product leaders, apparently product leaders, who do nothing of product management, who are doing a lot of stuff of ensuring that you get enough headcounts, of ensuring that you get enough resources, of ensuring that people don't cut your team. And actually, this is true. One day I remember I was with a product leader whom I really respect, and I asked him that, "Hey, you're a great leader. how do you manage, how do you speak with your customers? And he told me that, well, it's been 1 year since I last spoke with my customer. I let my PMs do, and then they come back to me. So what should be done differently? For PMs, they need to understand promotion is not the only way to be a good PM. You need to deliver great experiences. You need to use your scope to make the right impact. Looking at hindsight, the PM which I was working with didn't need to be promoted to an SPM. He had enough scope to be doing even more. And that's where you as a manager step in, where you need to provide the guidance. Often PMs have so much impact, but they fail to see that. You need to ensure that they focus on the fundamentals, your core PM skills, strategy, stakeholder management, communication, collaboration, negotiation, and be transparent. Be transparent and talk that, hey, listen, I know that you're reading a lot about promotions, but it's not all gold that glitters, and that's exactly what my next slide is. Remember, I talked about how moving to next level looks amazing. It is amazing, but it also comes with a lot of dark things which are never talked about. When you're a PM, like I always said, it's beautiful. You learn. You're not concerned too much about politics. You're like a sponge. You absorb everything. You have a lot of ramifications. Well, when you move on to upper levels, you realize that there is a lot of bureaucratic work, there is a lot of politics, there is people management, and it's like it sticks with your back, and slowly, like, it gets heavier and heavier. And I always saw this, you get promoted, and then there's a dark side of a PM's world. So again, my message, looking back, is that not everything with glitters is gold. You could be having great products, and but you need to understand that once you move up a ladder, there are going to be more than just product problems. There are going to be people problems. There are going to be politics. There are going to be scope. So PMs need to be informed about that. Managers need to be transparent, and not just. I've seen a lot of managers who never talk to their PMs and tell them what's coming, and when it hits them, they're not ready for it. So set expectations early. Be clear that, hey, a PM to SPM move means that you have two teams, mean that you have two engineering managers. Maybe this means that you have a director of engineering you're going to speak with more. So be transparent, and people will might then realize that, okay, wait, maybe this is not for me, or maybe, I'm happier doing actual product management. So please be transparent. This is one of my favorite sections, and I love this section. I'm passionate about this, not because I'm a runner, but really in my career, I have seen that product management specifically, and I think I could also extend this to other field, is not a marathon. Sorry, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You could, it's not 100 meter. It is a 25 kilometer. And this is so true in so many things. A lot of people think of product management as a sprint where you just run and would be, SPM, GPM. Wow. But it's actually not that simple. It's a long process. And it's a process where you want to absorb, and you want to learn, and you want to see and improve. And I always talk about uh, what is to be a T-shaped product manager. I always say, I think everyone knows you shouldn't be an I shape, and you should be a T shape. And I give an example of what a T-shaped product manager is, a AIPM, an AI product manager. There are things which every AI product manager knows: LLM, NL bigger models, deployment, all that stuff. But then there are things which only come with time. How do you get the buy-in from stakeholders? How do you decide the AI strategy at a company level? How do you ensure that all parts of the company can use the AI strategy? And then there are other parts around compliance, legal requirements, product market fit. And as much as I would love to say that, being an I-shaped PM, you're a great AI product manager, the reality is that that T band needs time. And we all aim to be a T-shaped product manager. For me, we should actually be an E-shaped product leader. And I love this E-shaped thing because it's just shows why both depth and breadth of knowledge is important. And I always give this example to people that if you only have breadth of knowledge, but not depth, you kind of become a salesperson because you know a bit of everything, but you cannot dive deep into anything. And I love this example. I read it somewhere, E-shaped product leader, where you are a specialist and you get some key PM skills, but then you move from a T curve to an E curve. And the E curve is all about getting experience, your expertise, your exploration. How do you execute things? How do you deal with people? And this shape product manager needs time. It's just not possible. And I would love for people to argue with me and say that no, we could do it, I don't know, in X number of years. And again, I don't talk about years, but it needs time. Obviously, every person is different. A great person who has a talent to be a product leader might do it in 6 years. A normal person could take longer, but this is very unique to aspire to reach, and this takes time. This is not a sprint. Uh, and again, to sum this one up, I would say that hey, there is no replacement for experience. You need experience. You need to deal with different stakeholders, and don't aim to have a title. A lot of people I see would say that my aim is to be a CPO, or my aim is to be a group product manager. But your aim should be that I want to launch a product which can make the life of X number of people better. Or I want to work on something really cool which I'm proud to deliver for an internal team which raises their productivity. That's how you need to think as a aspirational product manager. And again, for managers, it's very important that you work with PMs to make a learning plan. I'm going to talk about this later, but essentially it's your duty to ensure that these PMs are having the maximum impact. These PMs are understanding that how they are in a marathon and they're improving every day. And this means that telling them, hey, this is what you're doing amazingly well. This is probably what you can improve. Don't wait for an year-end meeting to tell them that, hey, look, you did this great and this poorly. You need to be speaking with your PMs every couple of weeks and talking about career and saying that, okay, if you want to reach this level, this is what I need you to be doing better. This is what you're doing great. So very important. And again, I don't think this is a slide which a lot of you haven't seen. It's very famous. I like to change this into saying product culture eats product strategy for breakfast. And I've seen this in our previous place I was talking about. Uh, I felt that culture of sometimes promoting the wrong people really led to a wrong product strategy. And here is what I call as the vicious circle. I love to call this the vicious circle of culture, that where you promote the wrong person. Obviously he has not the right skills in product or leadership. Good people leave because they are smart, they can see things are not working fine. This leads to a poor product culture, because once your good people leave, you are really not following the right practices, you are not having the right kind of education for others to improve, and this leads to a poor product strategy, because simply you don't have a good culture. People skimp on discovery, people just produce features. Essentially, this leads to a poor product, and company lose money. And what happens when company lose money? They don't hire more people, and eventually only those people remain which wrongly promoted. And this is what happened to a lot of orgs, where we call as a horrible product organization, where hippos and all of those terms which we don't like happen, all of those bad things. And really, this is where again I say that how bad can a bad hiring or a bad promotion be? And if you don't believe me, I got numbers. This is happening in a poll from 2020. 82% of the time, still a wrong person is promoted to a managerial role. Half of the people quit because of their relationship with the manager. This is true. We always hear people don't leave companies, people just change their leaders. And look at the money companies lose. This money consists of poor products, good people leaving. So this is critical. It's extremely important that you need to ensure that the right people are promoted. You ensure a great culture. You set a right example. And here I would like to talk about organizations. You know, what organizations need to do is be fair, be transparent, have a career framework, and listen and change if needed. I'm going to talk a bit more in detail about this. This is, again, a great quote, which I always like to say, that you're going to lose your best people if you promote the wrong ones. So finally, we talked a lot about what went wrong, but hey, we should still talk about, I'm not, promotion is good. being promoted is a great feeling. It's great for organization when they say PM's growing up. And now I want to just talk about what things you can do to be promoted. So focus on your key PM skills. Think of things like strategy, stakeholder management, execution, bunch of them, business. That's your area as a PM to work on. Have feedbacks, speak with your peers, managers, developers, understand what you can improve, analyze what you're doing wrong and correct and work on them. Uh, Career roadmap. I always tell everyone in my team to have their own roadmap. Ask yourself where I want to be in 6 months. What are the skills I need to develop? Do I need to work with a mentor? Do I need a mentee? Do I need to speak more? Do I need to write more documents? And here is for all of your product management, for people management folks who love to work with people. Find a mentor or offer mentorship to someone else. It's amazing the impact you can have when you sit with someone and when you are speaking in an informal way and you're talking about what went wrong, what can someone improve without the pressure of being judged or without the pressure of, getting a not good in your yearly review. It's a great feeling, and really, this is one of the best ways to develop your leadership skills. And finally, stay calm and have patience. Often, everything is fine, and I know people who don't get promoted. It doesn't make sense to get frustrated. I know frustration is normal, but you know what you say, just do a repeat of these things and stay patient. Things take time. And finally, I want to talk about what managers can do. What can organizations do? Because that's also very important. We work in an organization and they also need to ensure that they are doing what's needed. So first of all, be transparent. Be transparent with the product managers, have a career framework, let everyone see that be transparent in how you promote people, get feedback. I know a lot of organizations will make uh, frameworks but never get feedback. There would be three people, a CPO, a CTO, and a CEO sitting, and no one else would get a chance to comment on that. Be open. Be open on how you do promotion. Be open on why someone was promoted. Uh, Fair pay goes without saying. A lot of these, and this is the elephant in the house, a lot of these things happen because of money, because there's a thought that promotion means more money and those who are not promoted are not making enough money, which is kind of true, but you need to keep the pay fit, reward a person with what he deserves. Couple of more things. Do the right thing. Very important for managers. I, for once, didn't do the right thing. I still regret it. But very important. Do what's right. It's called integrity. Set the example for others, because your right behavior in a product culture would really help others to also do what's right. And this also leads to a good product culture. Like I said, if there's a good product culture, your product strategy is also right. And finally, uh, guide your PMs and look for improvement opportunities. Often I understand that PMs are not, uh, you know, even if a PM is not being promoted, or even if, let's say, a PM is not doing well in his role, look for internal movements, look for courses, look for programs which are designed to improve the PM. So you need to find, as an organization and as a manager, ways for your PMs to do better. And finally, this is something which I always tell myself, and I think I've repeated this: you should be a great PM. You should be a great product manager, and you will be promoted if you do all the things correctly, as it's always said. Aim for being great, and you would achieve success. Don't aim for just to be promoted. Your aim shouldn't be that I want to be a CPO, because CPO in a company A and a company B is different. And you might reach a CPO, but if you're not a great PM, that's a short-lived success. So achieve greatness, be a great PM where you deserve this promotion and not where you're getting a promotion because of some other reasons. And that is the end of my talk. Hopefully, there is enough time to go for a quick Q&A. Thank you.